Today is Friday, July 11th, and we have some more massive news regarding both Prismatic Evolutions and the new Mega Evolution set. So make sure you stay tuned till the end of the video. But let's just jump straight into this because we have the Prismatic Evolutions figure collection being officially revealed. This article is coming from PokeBeach. This is going to come out on September 26th. And actually, there has been a recent development just within the last few minutes. We do know its pricing, and currently, according to Best Buy, it is $69.99. More on that in a second. But what you get from the box, you get two nice promos. You get a little figure, a little pin, looks like some sleeves, and 11 packs. So this actually is turning out to be a pretty good box. So this will be very interesting to see how this one ends up. Obviously, it'll be extremely popular. People will be going crazy for this. The figure looks pretty small, but it's kind of cool for a little box figure. I do think it looks kind of cool. The pin, I think, is cool as well, especially for those big Evolution fans. So it's not really a bad box at all. I think it's actually super cool, and the sleeves are nice as well. So it's a great little collection box. 11 packs being kind of an odd number, but yeah, another just influx of product coming to the market as far as Prismatic goes. Like, so far after the release of the set, getting a new product like this is interesting. But you can see that we knew about these cards, these promos, for a while. This is the Espeon and Umbreon, the Korean version. So we knew that this was coming for a while, but we just now finally got a look at it. And like I said earlier, this just went live on Best Buy's website. So $69.99. Now, this isn't available to order quite yet, but that means that it should be dropping rather soon, possibly today, is what we're looking at. And potentially not only here on the Pokemon Center as well. And that is what brings us to the Mega Evolution set real quickly. This video is not specifically about Mega Evolution, but if you're watching this video when it came out, Best Buy has loaded Mega Evolution products as of this recording in the morning onto their website for pre-orders. So that would indicate, well, we haven't seen the pre-order go live yet, but usually when Best Buy loads it up, that means it's coming later that day, later that morning, whatever. We don't know the exact timing, but it usually coincides that it's going to also be dropping on Pokemon Center for pre-order. So it should be happening today, Friday, July 11th. Not just the booster box, but you can see booster box at MSRP and ETBs right here. Style may vary is what they're showing for the ETBs. And I did want to see real quick if they were showing the promos on here, but it does not look like they are. So that's what we have as far as the Mega stuff. It looks like today is probably going to be the day for pre-order, so make sure you guys are buckled up for that. The Prismatic box is looking really good. Let me know in the comments if you guys like this Prismatic box. I think as far as one of these like figure boxes that have like it's kind of sometimes can be gimmicky with the figure and a pin and sleeves, I think this is a really good one. So obviously focusing on the more popular Evolutions with Umbreon and Espeon, you can't really go wrong. So I think this is actually going to be a great box moving forward. So super excited to see when that comes out. Kind of what pricing does on the secondary market will be interesting. See if I can get my hands on some. And then before we go any further, if you are looking to take your collection to the next level and you want a great way to display your cards, graded cards or not, make sure you check out itwasneveraphasecards.com for custom 3D printed stands and rotating display stands with LED lights. If you want to pick some up, itwasneveraphasecards.com, link in the description if you guys want to check out some stuff. It's a great way to display your cards in a unique way. So if you want to display your collection, I also have stands that are not for graded cards as well. So just keep that in mind. And then back to Prismatic real quickly, because I did want to do a little bit of a Prismatic update, just kind of since we're talking about Prismatic, a new product dropping. Now we are seeing, as far as the sealed side, and we'll talk about a few singles in a second. The sealed side, we are seeing a little bit of a bounce back on the Elite Trainer boxes like we talked about not too long ago. These did drop below $100 back in about a month ago, actually. Coming up on a month. They went as low as like around $97. And, you know, they're back up not too crazy, but almost 10% in the past month. So currently around $108 is what we're seeing. They've been as high as 112. So bouncing back pretty decently as far as price goes, but still down, like on the 3-month chart, down around 20%. They were around $135 3 months ago. So that was the low. The lowest we've seen in a while, in a long, long while, pretty much since like pre-order time in November was the lowest that we've seen them drop down below that $100 mark. And a lot of people bought them up and it went quick. So they just bounce off of that. And yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they keep printing more of these, how many it actually takes to keep that price under 100. So that will be something interesting to keep an eye on. But regular ETBs are starting to bounce back. PC ETBs, on the other hand, bouncing back a little, but they've been hit harder. We've seen more restocks of the PC ETBs. And they're down 33% in the past 3 months, from $333. They dipped down to $230, shot back up to around $280, $290. And then they've come back down more recently to as low as $213. And then you can see that drop right here. And they've come back up a little bit now to in the 220 range. So a big supply of these have been coming in. So that kind of makes sense as to why the prices have come down, right? Supply and demand, supply influx. So yeah, it was a little surprising that we got more PC ETB drops of this product, but these will still continue to do well long term. But yeah, you can just see, obviously, as far as sales increases, as the price came down, you can see a lot more sales happening on here, people scooping those up at a more affordable price. So it'll be interesting to see if we continue to get drops of the PC ETBs for this set in particular, or if it's done now. So that is something that I will be keeping an eye on. We'll be monitoring and updating you guys. So make sure you're subscribed to the channel because I do post daily. Every single day you can get some Pokemon card content, some update, news, price movements, all of that good stuff. So if you want to stay up with the news and not have to do the work yourself, just make sure you're subscribed to the channel. And then let's talk about a few singles real quickly. This is the Umbreon. Continuing to fall in price, and you know, with the new box coming out with the premium figure collection, I would assume, now once again, this doesn't come out till September, but oops, that was PSA 10 pricing. We'll talk about that in a second. I would assume, depending on what happens between now and September, that, you know, that new packs and more packs coming onto the market is only going to introduce more supply of more Umbreons. So I would expect that we would possibly continue to see this card continue to drop in value. To what point? I don't know where the bottom is going to be, but you can see we do have on TCG Player, most recent sales have been in the 900s, some lower 900s recently, 922, 922, 924, still a very expensive card. And let's see what the 1 month, 12% drop in the last month. So like I said, continuing to drop. Currently lowest listeds on TCG Player around 940. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where it all shakes up. But a little bit of an influx in supply coming with that other, like I said, with that other product. So that'll be interesting to see what happens. And then if we get any other drops of Prismatic along the way, as far as restocks or anything like that, that will obviously continue to affect it. Although, albeit this is a very difficult card to pull, roughly about 1 out of 2,000 packs to pull this one in specific. So, but yeah, still more entering the market. So we'll see where it bottoms out at. 107 currently listed on TCG Player. So obviously the big chase card, the one that everyone wants to rip to get. So that's why we always have to make sure we touch on the Umbreon number 161. And then PSA 10 pricing. PSA 10 pricing, I feel like hasn't moved. It's come down a little more recently, but not too crazy. It's still very expensive in a 10, around $2,400. Pretty consistent. It's what we're seeing on the last few sales. $2,400, $2,400, $2,400, $2,500. And then back here, so this is what it was like back in April. April was around 2,900 and May was around 2,800. So it definitely has come down, but still being very, very expensive in PSA 10. And like I said, these are the last sales that one went for bids and one was a buy it now. So pretty consistent sales price there on the Umbreon in a PSA 10. Now, also the SPC, worth notably talking about again, because it's kind of similar to the new box, right? Although this is 15 packs and the new box is 11, so a little bit different kind of box, obviously. Super premium collection versus premium figure collection, so still premium and collection there. But anyways, enough with the semantics. This box has, as of now, at least, seems like it's leveling out kind of around 200-ish dollars. So we'll see if we get more of these. That will definitely continue to drive the price down. But as for now, in the last month, it's actually jumped up a little bit, around 2.5%. It was below 200, kind of in the 190 range. And now it's back up to around $200. Lowest listeds are in that lower $200 range on TCG Player as far as the secondary market goes. Keep in mind MSRP is like what, $90 on these. So obviously if you can score these at MSRP, that is the play. But I've had a hard time when it comes to the SPC getting them at MSRP. I think I've just been a little bit unlucky. But I've been pretty active trying to hit the restocks and all of that, like when I can. But yeah, it just hasn't worked out for me. So maybe if we get more in the future, you know, I'll be able to get some more at MSRP. But for now, they're around $200 on the secondary market. And yeah, different stuff in here that you get. Like I said, I like these sleeves better than the ones that we're getting from the figure collection. I do think the playmat is really nice as well. So yeah, for great box for big EV fans, and obviously Prismatic's going to continue to prismatic as things go on. So yeah, a great box to have. But it'll be, like I said, it'll be interesting to see this box too. Like I said, because this is a lot of packs that come in that box. And then I wanted to talk about, I feel like we haven't really talked about this card that much on the channel. This is the promo from the SPC, and I do think that this is like a really random, like that it's just EV on like a food tray thing. But regardless, I do think that this is a cool looking promo. And I do wish it was included in the set. But anyways, nice looking promo. This one has come up a little bit recently, around 4%. Nothing crazy. But it just bounced up a little bit. It was sub 20 and now it's around $22. So nothing too crazy. But I was just curious as to what it's done. Obviously, it has come down since the SPC has released around 41%. Initially, it was close to around $40 is what we were seeing. So yeah, it's down to around in the $20 range. So I just thought it was interesting and worth noting that it did pop up a little bit. And lowest listeds are around 22 right now, which does match the current market price. So I just kind of wanted to check in on where that was. $20 promo out of a currently $200 box. And then lastly, just to touch on again, another card just to kind of get a vibe of where Prismatic is at. It's not just the Umbreon, it's pretty much all of the cards. All of the special illustration rares across the board are continuing to drop. And I just wanted to touch on another one just so we get a little bit clearer of a picture. But this is the Sylveon, second most expensive card in the set currently. And you know, this one's been hit pretty hard as well, from $560 back in May to current market price of around $390. We'll filter out these other things real quick, so it's not showing those other listings. Last sold's 340s, 340s to 350s is kind of what we're seeing, and looks like continuing to decline. Lowest listed right now are around 330, 335 rather, more specifically. So Sylveon continuing to drop in price. I mean, like 8% almost in the last month. So once again, it'll be interesting to see where all this kind of bottoms out. But like I said, we will have more singles entering the market when it comes to this moving forward. More product. I would assume that that new box, the figure collection, it's gonna get gobbled up pretty quick. So just keep an eye out for that. Might be tough to get, but people will get it. People will get it at MSRP. This is what you can say for certain. Some people get it at MSRP. Some people get on the secondary market. They won't care, and they'll open the packs. Right? People will pay a lot of money for prismatic packs, whether it's rip and chips, whether it's them buying it themselves for whatever. People will rip prismatic, whether they're just chasing the Umbreon, whether they're chasing a god pack, whether they're chasing whatever it is, doesn't matter. They're going to continue to rip the product, so we'll see singles continue to hit the market. So yeah, that was the update for today. It was supposed to be mostly centered around prismatic, but as I was pulling up all the information, we got that mega stuff kind of starting to happen. So, like I said, as of this recording, nothing happening for Pokemon Center for that, or even Best Buy, but just that Best Buy has started to list, which usually means it's happening today. Like I said, none of that is a guarantee by any means, but it's very, very likely now that we're looking at today, which is what I theorized. I had a feeling, it was just, I didn't have any solid information to go off. It was just a feeling that we weren't going to see it yesterday, and we didn't. And like I said, that was just a guess, right? I wasn't putting that on anything. It seemed like let it stew for a day and drop it on Friday. I don't know. It seemed right in my head. So, yeah, expect the Pokemon queue it could be going up already. By the time you're seeing this, it could have already happened. So make sure you're checking as far as that goes. And maybe that prismatic figure collection is one that drops in there as well. We don't know. So, but like I said, it did load up on Best Buy at the same time as the mega stuff. So interesting. Like I said, I don't know when it's all going to go live, but good luck to everyone out there trying to get any drops. May the odds be ever in your favor. I'll be out there in the trenches with you. I'm going to be glued to my phone waiting for that stuff to go live. As soon as I get the notification that says queues up for Pokemon Center or whatever, I'm jumping in there with you guys trying to get some product at MSRP. But yeah, that's all I have for you guys in this one. Catch you in the next one. And remember, it was never a phase.